Hello, Peter. Okay, we have exercises from, oh my gosh, I just forgot the date, from November 15th. 3 exercises from your notes from November 15th, 2021. The first one is a single leg deadlift with a 1-arm row. So I'm gonna put my back to you again so you can see the exercise clearly. On a single leg deadlift, this is a balance. We're gonna use a lighter kettlebell here. We're gonna hold the kettlebell in the same, with this right arm, and then my right foot is gonna be on the ground. Remember, this is the one where you may want to touch your fingers on the wall to create and give yourself a little bit more of a balance. Otherwise, it's a little tricky. I'm gonna show you without holding on to anything, but I want you to, again, to feel free to kind of touch the wall and have a little support and confidence that the wall is gonna give you in this balance-driven move. For the deadlift, again, the shoulders are down and back. I'm checking to make sure you can see me on my watch. And then from here, watch what I do. I'm just going to find a focal point 2 or 3 feet in front of me. Once I laser lock my eyes on that, that helps with balance. I'm gonna pick up my leg. I'm gonna inhale here, exhale, and just like I'm doing an arabesque on the ice, we hinge over, and then from here, row with the elbow along the rib cage, release, and stand, and that's 1 rep. Again, it looks like this. Shoulders down and back. I want you to make sure you're touching the edge of a wall or the balance beam in your studio so that you have some support here. And then we hinge over. Whoops, I gotta find my focal point. Focal point, hinge over, get that leg lifted as high as possible, flex your foot if possible, and then a single arm row, release, and stand. Challenging exercise, very challenging. 6 reps, keep that kettlebell rather light. Make sure you're holding on to the wall or that balance beam in your gym to help with support of this one. You may want to modify that range of motion. Check the knees, but this is also good for knee stabilization, right? You're balancing on one leg, you're working a lot of stabilizing muscles all through the ankles, knees, and even into the hips. Great exercise if you can do it correctly. If it feels too challenging and not right at that moment, then skip it, right? It's one of the more challenging ones that we've been doing. Next, shoulder scaption. Shoulder scaption, great exercise, really, I think, recommended for you. Grabbing those 5-pound weights, could be possibly a little bit more, but I think the 5-pounders are a good starting place for us. Grab those weights, 1 in each hand, rotate your palms, right? Notice the look here. I've got about roughly a 45-degree angle from my hips. My thumbs are gonna be going straight in there. From here, shoulders always in that set position, and then we just raise to the level of our shoulders, no higher, and then slowly back down, that's 1 rep. Squeeze through the shoulders, hold, and then release. This movement is done with a slow tempo, very methodical. I believe you have 8 to 10 reps with this movement. Really good for your shoulders. If your shoulders ever ache on this one, let me know. We've got some other movements that we can do as an option. And then finally, we have a plank, 20 seconds, and I think I said I wanted you to do 3 rounds. So for this one, for the plank, it's always the same mechanics on a plank. We want to stack the hands right underneath the shoulders. You can do this from the knees or from the feet, or I'm going to show you a modification when I use the bench, and that way the bench will show you, whoopsie, my coat is right in the way there. That way the bench will give you that little option here. Oh, we're losing our light, and so this might be the last video for tonight. Let's see here. All right, so for that plank, hopefully you can see me. Let me change this angle just a little bit more. Thanks for bearing with me. Again, not a professional videographer. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. All right, so you're gonna use your bench. That way you can go and pivot off of your toes rather than your knees. Stack those hands right underneath the shoulders, achieving that straight line, and we're just holding a basic plank right here. My feet are roughly shoulder width apart. Now, to make this plank as effective as possible, you can begin to squeeze your quads, even squeeze your hands into the bench, create tension in all your muscles. You maximize this hold for 20 seconds, by creating all that contraction in all the muscle groups in your body, then you maximize this exercise. It's okay if you don't, but you maximize those 20 seconds of work in that plank position if you're holding tension throughout all your muscle groups as best as possible. All right, that's the 3 exercises. I think that's probably enough for today. The sun's going down, and I think we're mostly through. I think there's a couple more videos I could send you. I'll do that after I see you tomorrow. All right, best, and I will see you shortly.